Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to the Unbound realm. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So I am down at my zombie farm because I needed to get a lot of levels to get the enchantments on my new tools, and I finally managed to do it. So we've got everything on our sword, and we've got both a fortune and a silk touch axe. Now, I seem to remember seeing something about this. I tried to put smite on the sword, which we used to be able to put smite on the sword, but I can't remember what version it was. They changed that to where smite could only go on axes. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. But I've finally gotten everything done. All of my tools are fully repaired, and my armor's doing good and everything like that. So yeah, I think it's about time that I get out of here, and we have one little bit of enchanted leather armor here. I always do that just to get a little extra levels, and yeah, I've got a little bit of extra stuff there. Now this farm is actually doing pretty good. So we can see this was just from this session, the rotten flesh, but this is how much iron I have gotten out of this farm, and gold. Iron and gold that I've gotten out of this farm since I created it, which isn't bad considering that's a passive byproduct of getting XP. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. You know, get some good AFK sessions in there. Well, we can't really AFK, but we can, do something else while we let the zombies build up and then go in and start killing them, because there is a limit to how many we can get in there. But we have a really nice thing planned for today. So for the longest time, I have been saying this Nether Portal is supposed to be temporary. And we had plans quite some time ago to build a wizard's tower over here in this dark oak forest. And I have finally come up with a design. So I think the biggest problem that I had with trying to design out this wizard tower was that I didn't have the color palette needed back in 1.14, and then pretty much through the entirety of 1.15 I did not play on this world. But if we head over to my creative world, we will see a really nice looking tower. I like the look of this. So we are using almost solely nether blocks in this. So we have some polished basalt, we have some red nether bricks, some of the crimson stem things. I can't even remember what those are called. A bunch of black stone, a little bit of purple glass. I really like the way this looks. Now, of course, the base, I haven't quite figured out. This would be one of the towers. But also, like, we've got soul lanterns in here and chains. And I think this thing looks absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and... that's a time set day. It looks really nice at night. During the day, it doesn't look bad either. But, yeah, this is what we're going to be making our wizard tower look like. So this is some of my attempts back in 1.14, and I wanted to make it round, and I just couldn't make anything that looked good. I tore down tons of different options here, and yeah, it just didn't work. But I really like the look of this, especially if we put multiple towers together. I think it'll look really nice. Another thing is we can use like the, I think this is magenta, or no, this is purple terracotta, this is magenta terracotta. We could mix those in there. I think the purple looks better with these. The magenta is just a touch too light, but it looks really nice in there. The only thing is I haven't really done anything in the way of texturing here, so I don't know. Now, another thing is I love the way that walls are now. Since they make a full, they connect completely between the blocks, and they connect to glass panes. This makes a really nice, simple way to add some depth to the wall without actually having to do anything to make the wall thicker. So yeah, we have several different layers. We have the outer layer of the wall, we have this section of wall, and the backside of the, the backside of the stairs is different level too. So we have the outside of the wall, the edge of the red nether brick wall, the edge of the glass pane, and then the back edge of the stairs. So we have 4 different layers here, all within the same block width. I love that. That is so nice. So yeah, I need to gather up a whole bunch of materials. I have been getting tons of these crimson stems in between episodes, and I have also gotten a lot of the blackstone. Yeah, getting the blackstone, I actually died a couple of times. Stupid lava coming in when I wasn't expecting it, and usually I was able to block the lava and then I would burn to death afterwards. Should have taken some fire resist potions with me because I have a whole bunch of them brewed up. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to gather up several shulkers of the various materials that we need, and I will see you guys back in the Unbound realm. So I spent a whole bunch of time in creative designing out a farm for this warped and crimson stems, and after about 5 or 6 hours I realized, had I spent all that time just manually harvesting this stuff, I would have had way more than I could ever need. But I did find a bit of a method here that works pretty good. So I have a box here that is, well, it's up against the wall, but it would normally be 7 by 7, runs all the way up to the ceiling, and then the internal space is only 3 by 3. Now, the great majority of the glow shrooms will only spawn in this central area. Now, typically I would make a platform at these rings, but it would appear that I don't need to on the first one on this one. But so I have it set up here. I go up 5 blocks, I break out anything that might be above that height, I go up another 5 blocks, I put down another platform, break out anything that might be above that height, and I just keep doing this until I get to the top of the stem, which in this case happens to hit the ceiling. These things can grow incredibly tall sometimes, and then I just know if these shroom lights are on the right hand side, I'm in the correct corner, then I just go around here, break out my platform, break out this central stem, and then go down again. Since I didn't put the platform underneath here, I'm going to have to very carefully break that out. But yeah, I have gotten quite a bit of the warped and crimson stems, so I'll finish cutting this one down and we'll go take a look at that. And all that I have to do to swap it over to working on the crimson stems, of course, is to take this cross of the warped nylium and replace it with the crimson nylium. So that's not that big of a deal. I've also set up this automatic bone meal maker where I drop off my work blocks and get tons and tons of bone meal. So I'll drop those off in there. I'm also going to we're going to take the warped fungus back up to the top of the storage system with us. So I've just been dumping this stuff in here, and yeah, it's a little different not having everything catching on fire when I'm fighting it. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. But we'll go ahead and drop all of this stuff in here. And slime balls and the warped fungus, and we've got some extra arrows, and we'll drop our torches. But so over here, and actually we need to change that. That is incorrect. That should be over here. But we have quite a bit of stuff in here already. We can see the shroom lights. We've got over 4 stacks of them already. That is really nice. And I think, what do I want to use here? You know what? I feel like the warped nylium might be a really good choice for this item frame, because it really stands out as netherrack with growing things on it. Makes sense. But yeah, the crimson stems are the ones that I really need for this. And I think I have enough So, yeah, I just need to continue gathering up stuff here. We have tons of blackstone, and I mean tons of blackstone. I went mining for that stuff for quite some time, and then also we have lots of red nether bricks and red nether brick stairs. And actually, I think, yeah, we have a whole bunch more red nether bricks. So I spent a fair amount of time over at the spider farm, as is evidenced by my levels. Got 38 levels. But while I'm at the spider farm, the netherwort farm works. So I was periodically running over and grabbing that, and we have tons of smelted nether bricks up at the second village. So that was definitely not an issue. But yeah, I'm going to grab out all of the various blocks that I think we need here. I'm not even sure how much stuff we need for this. But I'll try to get all of it gathered up, and I'll meet you guys out at the roofed forest. So I have the majority of my resources out here. I've got lots of red nether brick, tons of blackstone, the blackstone variants, a whole bunch of the crimson stems, even more blackstone, some basalt, and then a whole bunch of just miscellaneous blocks. I also have in my ender chest, if we plop this guy down, so in the decorations box I have added a few things here too. So we have soul lanterns and soul torches, as well as a bunch of brewing stands, which were not in here before. Also added a full stack of chains and a bunch more bookshelves and lecterns. All of this stuff will be very good in here, because part of what I want to do in this thing is also to put in an enchanting setup and have a big library. I want this to be really an interesting place. But as I was flying over here, I realized the torches end over there. So trying to do any work out here would be horrid at best. And it kind of looks like I still need to cut down more trees. So I am going to have to get a lot more stuff cut down. Of course, I'm leaving the stumps so that when this is all said and done, I can replant any trees that are not covered by the building. And also, some of them might become custom trees. I don't know. This is going to be a fairly long and drawn-out process to build this thing. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go grab a bunch of torches. And we're going to get this place a little bit safer for building. So I just got done with a rather lengthy live stream, 5 hours long actually, and we got a lot done during this stream. So for starters, we can see there's a huge amount of forest that has been cut down. Now, originally, I was thinking to put the tower set up here by this nether portal. But the more that I looked at this area, it just felt too small. So I looked around the area and decided a better place is over here. And so we cleared all of the trees back and started laying out the layout for how this is going to look. And we even came up with some ideas of how some of this stuff is going to be. So we have a huge area here that is encapsulated within a large wall area. And yeah, the ideas just started flowing from there. So this is not just going to be a place for the Nether Portal. This is going to be a complex of war. The war between the Church of the Bone God and the Church of Soup. Yes, it is starting to heat up, and I am really happy about that. So this area will be producing the magical weapons and items that the Church of Soup uses against the Church of the Bone God. So we have here, this little area here will be for the production of ender chests and respawn anchors and beacons. And we're going to try to put a few things in there to make it look like they're making all of those things. And then over here will be the library with an enchanting setup and all of the storage for my enchanted books. And then over here will be an area that is making enchanted arrows. Now, because of that, we need potions to enchant the arrows. So inside of the main tower here, we are going to have brewing and the nether portals, because the nether wart needed for the brewing will have to be raised in the nether. That is one of the things that we said. And from there, they can make the potions and then take them straight into the area for the arrow production, or they can take them straight to storage. And then we have back here the storage area. So this is where the enchanted weapons and potions and all of that will be stored in preparation for things to go out to the battlefield. So I did come up with a little bit more lore for what is going on in this world. So the Church of Soup is magical in what they do. So they are fighting the Church of the Bone God using magic. And so, like, the ender chests allow them to transport items directly to the front lines. And they have the respawn anchors and the beacons to give them additional strength and being able to go straight back to where they were or whatever. And then, of course, the enchanted armor and weapons and things like that. But the Church of the Bone God will be very much mechanical in how they fight. So they're going to have things like dispensers shooting arrows and fireballs or fire charges and fireworks and all kinds of things like that. And they'll have flying ships, steam-powered ships, and all kinds of neat stuff. I'm really excited to get going on that. But also that kind of explains a few things about the way the pillagers look. Since the pillagers are going to be the Church of the Bone God, you know, they have gray skin, and we could even say that they are mechanical men rather than actual biological beings, or maybe they are augmented. You know, they have metal in their bodies. I don't know. That's some of the stuff that we'll have to come up with as time goes on. But we have a lot of stuff here, and I am really excited to get going on all of this. So I've come up with a design for the wall in my creative world. We have the design for the top of the towers, and the bottom of the towers will be basically just the wall that I have designed. Right here is going to be the entrance, and so in order to get into this place, they'll have to come up this rather steep area. You know, I just like the way that this is going. There's also some spots back here in the back where it overhangs the old dry riverbed, and we're going to have, you know, large stone abutments coming down off of the towers and the walls and the back of the library, and I am really, really excited to get going on all of this. So I am going to start building some of it. We'll see how it looks. The walls are going to be rather tall, so I want to be a little careful on that. I may have to redesign the wall to make it a little shorter because, yeah, the current wall design is something like 18 blocks tall. I don't think we want to have it that tall. I think 10 blocks at a maximum, and if we could go a little bit shorter, maybe 8, that would be better. But I want to be able to get a lot of the details that I have in my design into it regardless. So I am going to get going on that, and I'll hope to bring you guys back with some progress here in just a little bit. Well, there is definitely some headway being made here, but I do have to say I'm not really liking this portion being wider than the base of the tower. Now, in my original design, I did expand out, but I was also 2 blocks narrower. So, like that center pillar, was not there. Instead, it was just a half slab in the middle, and then these walls weren't there. So there was an open space in the middle, and the walls weren't there, and everything was compressed together. So I think I may have to do that on these and just continue the lines up on the side of the tower. As much as I don't like that, but I think that's what it's going to have to be. But this does look really nice. So we have the crimson fence post in the center and the walls on the sides. And I think we will utilize this in the 7 wide configuration. Well, I guess it's actually 9 wide. But we will be utilizing that somewhere within this build because I really like the look of that. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But the rest of it is looking pretty good. I was able to get the wall a little bit shorter. I actually took it down from 14 blocks to 11. And I may not put the top on it like it's supposed to be, because originally I had thought to have little crenellations on top of this wall. And I got to thinking that's looking way too much like a castle. So, yeah, that I might just have to do away with that. I might also have to do away with this portion right here, because it just doesn't quite feel right. Something about splitting that in half right there, yeah, I don't really like it. So let me do a little bit more experimentation here, figure out what I want to do with the various aspects of further up on the tower, and then I'll be back. So I kind of have the first little bit figured out. So we can see that thing is rather tall. It almost feels a little off balance having such a large top, but I kind of feel that after everything is said and done, it won't look as bad because there will be a lot more stuff around it. But yes, there's a few things that I am unsure of here. One of the things that I do kind of like, though, originally, ow, faceplant. Originally, I was going to take this up a little bit higher, and man, I'm having a hard time here. But originally, I was going to take the wall up a little higher, and then I had that subdivision in the tower that was at the height that the wall was going to be. I think this works better. But because of that, the wall doesn't have anywhere to really end. And I'm actually kind of liking the way that it looks with that little bit of red. So actually we need to head over to the tavern and get ourselves a little something to eat. So I've kind of been... ow! I've kind of been neglecting using this. And so I decided it might be a good idea to go ahead and take advantage of our food dispenser. Wow, really? I can't even. Well, I don't need an ale right now, so we'll just drop that off. And I don't know, maybe we can have a pumpkin pie here in a little bit. But, I'm gonna end up killing myself. Gee, many crickets. But anyway, so I have a few things here already set up, and I just keep hurting myself. So in the initial design, I was going to put the Nether Portal in this area, but with this the way that it is, there's no real reason for the Nether Portal here. Now, one thing that I had thought about doing was putting some glass panes in here. Oh, they actually don't connect to those. They do connect to the walls, but they don't connect to the fence. Ooh. That actually sounds kind of interesting. Okay, so if I were to take these guys back out, they do connect to the walls. Oh, I've got that wall underneath there. If I remove you, because I kind of want to have the purple here, but also I don't want to put it on the inside. Oh, this is because of the way that the the roof is. Maybe not. I don't know. This might be subtle enough from the ground that it will work. We'll give it a try and see how it looks. Okay, so that'll put a little bit of a purple hue to that. Let's eat before we fly because I've been having some problems with that. But I want to really be able to have that purple. Oh, yes. Okay, so we might have to work with that just a little bit more to try to make that work, because having that purple there definitely makes a difference. Now, I could possibly move the glass to the inside and move the other pieces to the outside. That would be a possible option as well. I don't know, I might have to do some experimenting with that, because up close, that looks horrible. I will be perfectly honest. But anyway, so what I was wanting to say here, I remember now, it was about these little bits of red that are sticking up off of the top of the wall. So originally these were supposed to be a couple more blocks higher, and then there was supposed to be some stuff up on top of it. And I mean, it just didn't look overly good. And I'm actually going to try this. So let's go ahead. Whoops, you are supposed to be there. So let's go ahead and put some little kind of wall subdivisions in here and put these in between and take a look at that, because I want to have some red there but not a lot. So if we land here, other than the fact that it's only that one piece of fence there or wall on the section right next to the tower, it doesn't look bad. I think it actually looked better without that. So let's go ahead and chop that back off, and maybe, you know what? Let's go ahead and land here. We have some bricks on us. Let's go ahead and swap this for some slabs. Because one thing that I want to be able to do here is not have to rely on lighting to keep mobs from spawning on this thing. So as of right now, there is actually, the design is not a spawnable design, because we have everything is topped with stairs or slabs. So if we top these with slabs, it'll give just that little bit more height there, basically a full block worth of exposed nether brick, red nether brick, and that might actually do it. Yes, that is much better. The other just is too much. This looks really nice. I like that. It's just a subtle amount of the red just peeking over the top. Very much like that. But so yes, I need to do some experimenting with the window and try to get that kind of worked out. And then I need to wrap this lower area around all four sides. So, and actually I need to wrap the base around the other sides as well. And this is actually one place that caused me a major problem, was the connection between the tower base and the base of the wall. And I think I've made it work. So if we have basically the one gap here will look like this, a two gap would look like this, you know, like the regular section of wall. And if there's the next smaller gap, if there's no gap here, then we'll just put this right up against that. So I think we've kind of got that all figured out. I still need to do some work on, you know, giving this outer edge some support. We need some buttresses coming down away from this to hold it up. And then, like I said, we need to get the other sides, because this definitely doesn't look right, having just a big hollow spot in the back. But yes, I am very pleased. This is giving us exactly what I had in mind. I'm really liking it. There's a few more little details we've got to put in, like the fences along the walls along the top here, and the soul lanterns hanging from that. We need to get some soul lanterns on the insides of these rooms. Now, these rooms are kind of going to be just, you know, there's no way to get to them. I guess we could say, since these guys are magical, they can teleport to those rooms. That might be something that we can say. And so, You know, we might set these up as little residences. And you know what? I have the wrong block here. I'll fix that later. But I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be these guys. You know, I think maybe it is supposed to be a full brick. I think it's supposed to be that. But yeah, there's a few little things that I got to get done on this still. And that will pretty much finalize the design for these. But we are out of time. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave that down in the comments. Please let me know what you think of the design here for the tower, because I am really liking it. There's probably some places we could do a little bit more detailing, but that is stuff that I'm just going to have to kind of work out as time goes on. And the biggest thing is getting the tower itself built, or the entire complex. And that big tower is going to be one heck of a challenge. But yeah, that is it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.